All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Wanted to come on very briefly this morning and talk to you in prayer that I inspire you on this morning or encourage you to just stop worrying. Stop worrying to the best of your ability. Stop worrying and take your petitions to God. Because subject title this morning, what are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for? Who are you doing what you're doing for? And I just want to, let me put a scripture out here first that got my mind, just the wheels in my mind just turning to come up with that conversation on who are you doing this for? Who are you doing this for? Philippians, that 4th chapter, when it talks about pray about everything, say, my dear friends, I love you so much. I do want the very best for you. You make me feel such joy. Fill me with such pride. Don't waver. Stay on track, steady in God. Who are you doing this for? Who are you doing? Anything that you're doing in life, are you doing it for yourself? Or are you doing it that God gets the glory? You know? Remember who you are doing this for. We do things so our loved ones will have a better future. Parents work hard so that their children don't have to work as hard as they did. But you have to remember when you do things, who, keep in the forefront of your mind, who are you doing this for? Anything that you do. I remember coming up as a little girl and my parents would say, we got a home. We're buying a home for y'all to have a place to lay your head. That's why we doing what we are doing. We get out here and work every day so that we can put food on the table. You know, so when you think about that, it's the same question that was posed to them. It's the same one that is being posed to us today. We do a lot of things and we get in the front of God and we don't pray about it. We don't even ask God for guidance in it. Who are you doing it for? Because when you step out there on your own without him, you doing it for your own glory, not the glory of God. And I like that scripture. My dear friends, I am a friend of God. You are a friend of God. If you love it and see him as the head of your life, or whatever perspective you might want to see him in, he calls you friend. You're a friend of God. I love you so much. I do want the very best for you. You know, sometimes people will say, mankind will say, they want the best for you. But all the while, they don't want the best for you. All the while, they're in competition with you. All the while, you think that they're on the other end building you up. But yet, somehow God brings it to your attention that they're not really with you. But see, here's the thing. God is always with you. When he say he loves you, he loves you. He's not playing no game. Because God don't deal with because. I love you because. He just loves us. See, we love people because. Because you do this for me, or because you do that for me, or because you're a nice person, or because whatever the because might be. But God don't use a because. He just loves us. He loves us. If he didn't love us, he would have never given his only begotten son. See, that's when people really love you, because they don't need a because to love you. They don't need a because to help you. They don't need a because to support you. They just love you. They just support you. No explanation to it, because they just want to. You don't owe them nothing. Sometimes people will do things for you with a price on your head. But see, God, he just loves us. He don't put no prices on our head. We do that to one another. And we do that to people that we tell them that we love them and we care about them. Yeah. Until I get upset with you, until I don't agree with something that you do, or a decision that you make. And see, then that because starts showing up. Oh, but when because starts showing up in mankind, when mankind did it for their own glory instead of for the glory of God, you know, that's not going to be a good thing. See, if I can't do it from the depths of my heart, for my love for you, for my care for you, I don't even want to be involved in it. Because I just love you. I don't need a reason. That's that agape type love. Love forgives. It don't just keep walking around and holding something over your head that happened 20, 30 years ago. Love forgives. Because time will fix things if you let it. That's why we are a friend of God. That's why he finds himself in love with us without even having a because. Because he the one paid it all. He paid it all. But us, human beings, we need to get away from that. Because your because is eventually going, if you keep it there, to hurt somebody. Your because will hurt somebody. Your because will hurt somebody that thought you really loved them. Your because will hurt somebody that really thought you cared about them. Your because will cause many people to fall when they do something that you don't agree with. Because we all have faults. We all have shortcomings. We all got some things that we don't even like about ourselves. But you know what? We are still God's prime creation. That don't change. That does not change. I will forever keep this in my heart because it's true. Just because, and my spiritual daughter told me this, just because someone sits on the front row, that does not mean they clapping for you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of people who are sitting on the front row in your life. You put them there. Guess what? They're not clapping for you. So that's why you got to make sure that you do what you do, that God gets the glory. I know that right now there are some people who probably laugh at me for coming on in the mornings. What's she doing up there in the mornings? What's she talking about this morning? You know, and I'm just using that as an example, okay? Because this stuff happens to everybody. But you know why I get up? Because in the mornings, God gives me bread every morning. God regulates those blood sugars of mine that I struggle with in the mornings. God gives me the breath of in my body in the mornings. everything about me, my vision. Hey, yeah, I had to get some stronger glasses, but that's all right, because God gave me the finances to be able to buy the glasses. And then along with that, to help my sight to keep going. See, that's why I do what I do. It's not about me. God uses his vessel. Because when he's done with me, I'm done. He uses this vessel right here to fulfill his purpose in my life. His purpose, his vision. Sometimes while people standing back laughing at you, they don't understand who's standing with you. Can I say that again? Sometimes people are standing back laughing at you because they don't understand who's standing with you. Who are you doing what you're doing for? Who are you doing what you do? Why are you doing it? You're doing it for the glory of God. You doing it, who you doing it for? For those who are coming up behind you. I say this all the time. All the time. The fact of what I do right now, I have told my granddaughter, I have told my grandson, what I do right now, I know who I'm doing it for. I'm doing it in hopes that I can pave a better way for you guys. That's what I'm doing it for. I'm buying a home so that when I'm no longer on this side, that y'all will have somewhere to go and you don't have to taste of homelessness. That's who I'm doing it for. That's who I'm doing it for. And with the help of God, he will allow me to pay this house off. I don't have no expensive home, but I ain't out there when it's cold. I'm not out there when it's hot. I'm not out there when it's raining. I have a roof over my head. And I thank God for that. Because without him, I'm telling y'all, I'm nothing. Without God, Electra Lanice James is nothing without God. You are nothing without God. And the only reason why people are coming after you because they don't know that God is standing with you and God is not going to allow nobody to bring you down and destroy and hurt you. God is not going to do that to you. He loves you too much. And that's why you got to understand and you got to know and you got to believe who you are doing this for and why you are doing it, because God don't need a because. He just loves you. God just loves you. You know, I used to say all the time, and this is a true fact, I would say all the time as I was traveling to different places to do different things. And a friend of mine who has passed away, Crystal, and she would ride to these places with me. And then like the political season when I would be out there and I would be doing things, she would always say, Lady E, pick me up. Let me tell you something. You don't get people like that every day to come into your life that no matter what you doing, they tell you, I'm right there with you. You don't owe me nothing. All you got to do is come get me. I'm right there with you. As you riding up and down these roads, I am right there with you. You don't get people like that every day in your life. You know something, and it stuck with me on this morning before I got up when she said to me, you got to remember one thing. What are you doing this for? What are you doing this for? She would always tell me that. And I miss her to this day. She was like a sister to me. Crystal is dear to my heart. She'll always be dear to my heart. She was my biological sister, but my spiritual sister. She would always say, what are you doing this for? Keep that in front of you. You go in there and you talk and you say what God put on your heart. And then when we're traveling different places during the political season, she'd be right there. Yeah, they might talk about you. They might not understand what you are trying to do. They might not even accept it. But no, who are you doing this for? And what are you doing this for? And I would be instantly energized to just keep going. And sometimes I went with tears in my eyes. I did. I have to be honest. Sometimes I had tears in my eyes, but I had to remember, who are you doing this for? What are you doing this for? You got to remember that. People will let you down because they're dealing with the because. I support you because. I love you because. I support you because. But when that because gets some flaws in it and they don't agree with what you're doing for whatever the reason, and the devil rises up in their mindset, that because will work against you. It will work against you. Because the same one that sat there on the front row in your life and pretended that they were doing the things for you because they wanted to, all the while they had a because. And because it's not something that God deals with. God don't make no bets with you. God don't make no bets over your life. But I'm going to tell you something too. God don't do no kick doors. You accept him because you want to accept him. You love him because you want to love. He don't do no kick doors to make you come into a relationship with him. And this is why you got to have agape love. You got to have agape love. Because listen here, that the cause going to mess you up. It's going to mess you up every time. There's a lot of people. Get this in your mind. Implant this in your mind. A lot of people are still in your life because you haven't done nothing that have really pushed them out yet. Because people want you to be perfect on the things that they are not perfect in. Because you will not reach perfection on this side. None of us will. When we get to perfection, we out of here. We out of here. So I am saying to you this morning, you're a friend of God. You are a friend of God. If anybody else and nobody else want to call you their friend, God say you a friend of his. You know why? Because he don't deal with because. He just love you. I'm so glad. He just love you. He just love me. He just love you. He rocks us in his arms when the world is on our shoulder. He rocks us when people turn their back on you. He rocks us in his arms when you feel lonely. He rocks you in his arms when you got tears running down your face by being misunderstood. He rocks you when you're so tired and you're weary and you feel like you can't go no further. He rocks you. You know why I know that he rocks you? Because right now he's rocking me. He got me in his arms. He's got me in his arms. Because I've had to face some causes, just like you. And those who I thought was sitting on the front row, who I thought, when I'm talking this morning, because this is what he put on my heart. I thought, just like you thought, they was on the front row. And God showed you. He revealed it. He pulled back the covers. He said, no. They not clapping for you. They not clapping for you. Some of the very people that they know are out to try to get you. They are supporting those people when they won't even support you in the same like manner. See what I'm talking about? That's that because. That because is dangerous. When someone say, I love you because you're doing everything right now that don't upset them. But can you love me in my flaws? Can you love me still? Can you love me? This is something that I'm going to share with y'all today because I feel like God put that in my spirit for whatever the reason. Well, to speak it out. That's why. I remember my late husband saying to me, I don't need no becauses to love you. I'm just going to do my best to love you the best that I can. I'm going to love you the rest of my life. I don't need no because. I don't need no because. All I want to do is just love you. That's all I want to do. I don't need no because. He said, whenever a man needs a because from a woman, he won't be with that woman as soon as she make one mistake. Now, I'm telling you that because he told it to me. If I ever treat you less than wonderful, you don't need to be with me. Because I'd be dealing with a because. I'm going to just treat you like I want to treat you because until you make me angry. See, you don't want that because in your relationships in life. I don't care if it's kinship, friendship, workmanship, whatever it is. If somebody is in your life with a because, you need to think about that. You need to think about that. You really need to meditate on that. Because God has asked the question of me, and I am sharing it with you. Who are you doing this for? The things in your life, this piece of hair, who are you doing it for? Ask yourself that. Are you doing it, everything that you're doing? Are you doing it that God gets the glory? Are you doing it because you want for people to see you? Because remember, if you want people to see you, that's the only glory you getting. But when God sees you, it ain't nothing nobody can do. It ain't nothing that no man on earth can do. When God sees that what you do, you're doing it for his glory. We live in a real world. I spoke on that yesterday, and I'll say it again today. We live in a real world, and we serve a real God. And we better be about his business and stop trying to appease and please people that's in your life because you don't know what's behind that because. You don't have a clue what's behind their because. So I pray you have a good day today. I pray that you step out on every ounce of strength that God has given you. I pray that you would rise up like no other day that you have before. Just know, ask yourself, who am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for? Who am I? That's a personal thing. Doing this for. So that's a personal thing now. Y'all have a wonderful day. Keep God in front of everything that you do. And you will be all right. Okay? Tell somebody today you love them. You just love them. Without the because. You just love them. Because God, he don't use a because just to love you. He just love you. He just loved me. Just because he wanted to. We are his prime creation. All right? Y'all have a wonderful day. Keep God close to your heart. He will protect you. He will protect you. All right? Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.